It's another episode of the Arsenal Fan Circle with your co-host, as your host is away on holiday. Joining me today is Dave and Jack, as you guys do know, huge Liverpudlians, excited to talk about everything that's happening and everything that is going to happen in the week. How are you guys doing?
Too bad, mate. Thank you very much for having me on.
Oh, absolutely great. Maahir, looking forward to Monday night, baby. Should be a great game.
Oh, yes, most definitely, most definitely. It's an honor having you guys with us again. And as you do know, I'm taking over today's show, and I'm happy to have you guys with me for another one. Hopefully, we are expecting one more guest, but we shall carry on in the meanwhile, as it has been scheduled. So, first of all, let's get into your guys' game against Lincoln. I want to hear your guys' thoughts of, how you guys think the game went. Did it matter? The score lines? Was the performance there?
Who do you want on first? Me?
Anyone, Dave? Dave,
Okay.
you can take it you offered.
I've got a good line for you. We absolutely assassinated Lincoln on Thursday night. Seventh heaven, baby. Seventh heaven. It was a mixture of our second and third team, really. Okay, Van Dijk played first half, but realistically, most of them players didn't play much football at all in the last while. It was lovely to see Minamino, who had a really good game. I think he'll have an impact on Liverpool going forward, and young Curtis Jones as well. Those two shone for me and could have a say in Monday night. But realistically, there was a lot of young lads there, and 7-2 it was beautiful. Seventh heaven.
Seventh heaven, yeah. Seventh heaven. Jack, and what were your thoughts? Do you think the same? Assassinations going down
fantastic, mate. Yeah, I think we played you last season in the Capital One Cup. Madness of a game last season. We got you in the next round, haven't we? Anyway, so it'll be we'll be everyone will be getting sick of me and Dave on this channel. But yeah, it was 10 changes Liverpool made at the weekend, so players will be fresh. A lot of the first team players, so you won't be coming off the back of a heavy 90 minutes anyway. But it was a great opportunity, like Arsenal like to bring in young academy players and just give them a go. And I think that's what you can see from Mikel Arteta in the cup competitions, especially. See a lot of young players. But yeah, Curtis Jones, a lad to keep an eye out for in the coming years. He scored that worldie, if the Arsenal fans remember, last season anyway against the Everton, and he scored the final penalty against the Arsenal to knock his out anyway. So I think he's remember that. But yeah, it was an exciting opportunity, mate, to see him, and Dave's already mentioned Minamino. I think two of the main key players for Liverpool coming into the season.
It's what's always fantastic is when younger players get given an opportunity to shine. Especially in the slightly smaller cup competitions such as the Carabao Cup, and the other one is the FA. Emirates Cup, if I'm not mistaken. If that's what they call it.
Yeah, the Emirates FA, yeah.
It's just fantastic. Like with us, for example, like you're talking about Curtis Jones and some of the other youngsters that have been given a chance. Same thing with us. Saka, I'd like to see Reece Nelson improve. We only beat Leicester 2-0. It was a kind of iffy game. Even if you caught the highlights. I think there was the one goal was Pepe, where he cut it in and it just deflected off everything like a pinball machine. And it's nothing really a win is a win. But personally, in my opinion, if you ask me, it's not anything to go home with. Say, wow, we beat Leicester 2-0. But the performances, even performance-wise, players like Kolasinac, to be honest, guys, Kolasinac is straight trash. I wish there was, honestly, I wish we had like a backup. Like you guys did, like.
Yeah, his highlight of his career is probably playing bodyguard to Ozil. But yeah, wasn't he meant to be getting loaned out? As everyone in the chat, was he being linked in the Bundesliga? I think one of the rumours has seen him linking out.
Yeah, you're right. Perfect.
Yeah.
You were right. But The question is going to be if they're going to reinvest that, that sort of money into, other players that, like the players we've been linked to. I would personally love for one of them to actually come in like right now. Like right now.
Yeah, man,
Like,
Oyer, is that his name? The French.
yeah.
I've heard that he is on his way. There's a good chance he's going to sign before the window. That's what I heard today.
The only thing, Dave and Jack, the thing that disheartens me a little bit when it comes to transfers is that a lot of clubs, even the smaller clubs, have been able to spend at least 30, 40, 50 on two players. And here we are trying to skimp for a player that would literally be our best midfielder literally.
They said the same thing about us last Thursday. And all of a sudden, Thiago Alcantara came in the back door and Diogo Jota within the space of 24 hours. So if you've been watching Twitter up until Thursday morning, basically, Twitter was toxic. There was FSG out, Klopp out, everyone out. It was crazy. And within the space of 24 hours, everybody was hugging each other, shaking high fives. It just shows you what two players or even one world-class player signing could do to a club. Lift morale, lifts morale, makes all the fan base feel like, oh, let's go, we're looking forward to this season. And I think if Arsenal can get one or two maybe sneaky signings in before the end of the window, your morale is lifted considerably since you won the FA Cup anyway. He was in the doldrums only a few months ago. So your morale is lifted. So I wouldn't be too worried. I think he's on a good side. I think he's going places slowly. It'll take time. It took us, Klopp's there since October 2015. It took us 3-4 years before we won anything. We lost one or two finals. People were saying he was a bottler. They lost the League Cup final penalties to City. We lost the Europa League final against Sevilla after being 1-0 up. Sturridge, I think, scored. Remember that game? We lost 3-1. But what happens is it takes time. You get the jigsaw, you get the pieces in place, you put them on the table, and when you've got the jigsaw close to being finished, you've got the finished article. And I think Arsenal are actually on the right road.
Yeah, just to add on that, mate, I've been watching interestingly to see if he does move from the Ligue 1 to Arsenal. I think, as you said at the top of the show, mate, it'd be one of probably Arsenal's best player if he does sign. I think Partey, after that's going Madrid, it looks like he might be staying, but the priority is for Arsenal. Definitely, if Arsenal to go places, I think Mikel Arteta will be identifying this lad. Such a young age anyway, played a couple of games in the Champions League, so he's got that under the belt, and he's been one of the key figures in that Lyon squad. So I think if Arsenal are to get him before the transfer window, I think it'd be a very good coup, and it's definitely what you do need in that squad.
Oh, love the analysis, guys. Love the analysis. Coming from an Arsenal fan perspective, personally, I actually love Jurgen. I actually followed him when he was at Dortmund, and he's such a humble guy. He reminds me of, like one of the younger guys, like one of our uncles, who's just so chilled. And
you can't have him. He's ours. Stay away from him, baby.
Like Jack, like he's such a humble character, man. Like it brings tears to my eyes also because, some of my best friends are actually Liverpool supporters, and they're just such cool guys to be friends with, man. Because they're very humble. They're not loudmouth. I mean, we would have really, honestly, I wanted to see United get beat by Brighton, and I don't know how they managed to scrape that win. I mean,
don't get me started on that. I was in the garden celebrating a 2-2, and then come back in, and then it's 3-2. I'm like, well, the whistle weds, and then the madness. But that's the Premier League, and it's classic United.
It's crazy. No, that's crazy. I've never seen anything like it. I was hoping that Hove Albion would have brightened up my day, but they didn't.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
I mean, the same thing happened to Chelsea. I think apparently Chelsea also got beat or are being beaten at the moment, 3-0 or something along those lines.
That's because Chelsea have a 3 on their jersey.
Yeah, I keep on looking off screen there. It's 3-2 now, so 8 minutes to go. So you've come back out quickly. That's why I was looking off camera there. Callum Hudson-Odoi and Mason Mount. But I tell you, it'd be good for Arsenal and Liverpool, this result, if West Brom, fingers crossed, can get them through, because it would mean if one side is to win on Monday, it'd open up a 6-point gap between them and Chelsea anyway. So it's a huge points for them. But yeah, on Klopp's character, mate, I think it's similar to Mikel Arteta. I think he would have learned off Pep Guardiola as well. It's the area of the Jose Mourinho, fantastic manager in that time when he was at Porto, and obviously Inter Milan and Champions League wins. But I think man management is such a big part. It has been for years, the last 30, 40 years, but especially the last 10 years. The likes of Jurgen Klopp is a big personality, but he's not someone to get on the wrong side of. If you would have seen Mohamed Saka, yeah. I think the one of the very first couple of weeks into his tenure, Klopp, he come behind Klopp in a pre-season LFC TV video and had a little joke. Klopp didn't see the funny side of it. I can understand where he come from. And a couple of weeks after, he sold him to Crystal Palace for 20 mil.
He got saccoed. He basically got saccoed. Klopp didn't like, he was being interviewed, I think live LFC TV, and he was in behind him telling jokes, and he'd already been late for 1 or 2 training sessions. So Klopp turned around and said, I don't know what you're joking about. You're already in the bad books. Now you're in the double bad books, and we never seen him play again. Crazy. So there is a tough side to Klopp. I know he's a father figure. Yeah. Klopp hugs, kisses and hugs, but he has to have that steel. Every successful anything successful in business, in anything, has to have a bit of bite, a bit of steel, and Klopp certainly has that.
That's the thing. Man management has been important for a long time, and funnily enough, our previous managers didn't realize that. They didn't realize that. They let characters get away with absolutely anything. Jack, I'm sure you agree with what Dave says, where he says somebody like Mamadou Sakho, maybe he was joking around too much. You're not performing enough on the pitch. Enough for him to say, listen here, Sonny, you're not in charge here.
Prime example of that at Arsenal was Xhaka and Everton, and Guendouzi at Arsenal. Prime example as well. He said, right, you're at Arsenal, you're at this football club. If you don't be taking it, you're out the door. If you are worth a couple of million on the transfer market, it's that professionalism that some managers, and I've liked that from Mikel Arteta. I don't know if Dave feels the same. He's only been in management for a very short time, but he stamped his authority on the football club. And that's something that some Arsenal fans, some Arsenal managers, Unai Emery, I think he very much struggled with the language barrier in terms of adapting to the Premier League. But Mikel's gone the right lines in terms of stamping his authority, and he's gone the right way.
Welcome to the newest member of the panel.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hello, my friend.
Hello, Mizzy.
Hello. I think that we should keep tabs open on Everton. They were on fire this season. James Rodriguez completely transformed them.
Yeah, no, Arsenal, Everton, I think, as I was speaking to you a couple of years over the last couple of months, and spoke to Dave and a couple of me non-biased Evertonian mates, they are excited, but it's consistency, I think, with Everton. I think, especially, that's a big part for Arsenal as well. Something that Liverpool have improved over the last couple of years, consistent levels and not getting injuries to the main key players. I think, I don't know what you guys think of everyone at home. Alan, he was an absolute nightmare. I think me and Dave can agree that, and Liverpool fans, when we played Napoli in the Champions League, I'm not looking forward to the derby. Tell you that now. He was an absolute nightmare to play against.
Even Pickford has improved, which is a good sign.
Not the cup game. He couldn't even catch a cold. Did you see that? That was some shocking goalkeeping. But I think he's another player that needs more consistent levels. I think he could do with another bigger goalkeeper to really push him. But yeah.
I think it would have been fantastic for us to actually have gotten a Decore, for example, to steal up that midfield. I mean, that midfield of Everton's is actually looking like a set of ballers right now. And like we just have to keep, obviously being a little bit above them in level, we have to keep our eyes really securely fastened on Wolves as well.
I think Everton obviously have improved. I mean, they've a world-class manager in Ancelotti at the end of the day. I mean, he's a they couldn't believe the luck when they got him. I mean, Ancelotti at Everton. They've done some good signings. They've had some terrible signings in the last few seasons. They spent a lot of money, to be fair, but some of the signings just didn't come off. They've signed really, really proper decisions this time. I think they're an outside shout for top 4, actually. I really do.
Most definitely, it's going to be very tight, don't you think, Angel?
Yeah, I think all Everton need to do is sign Tomori on a loan, and then that will massively improve their squad and actually reach top 4 this season, or at least win like a trophy, like a Carabao Cup or something like that.
Yeah, definitely. He's a good player, that's Tomori. I'm surprised not getting played at Chelsea anyway. They're shipping goals. It is good to see. But the one thing to right buying all those attacking players, Liverpool showed up at the back getting Alisson and Van Dijk in one season. But I think some teams could do with that reassurance at the back. Because I think Carlo Ancelotti, I think they've got the 3rd best manager in the Premier League, Everton, I think it's a big shout, but considering what Ancelotti's won in the game and the experience which he'll bring, but yeah.
Angel, I want to ask you a question. What did you think of the game, our game versus Leicester City? How was the performance? Your thoughts?
I thought that was a comfortable win. I felt like Ozil should have been in the squad. Him not playing the game, that was kind of surprising because he was in training and all that. And I thought that was a pretty good performance, especially for Eddie Nketiah. He's really improving himself.
You know, the beautiful thing about that is he's proving, he's actually trying, I think what they're trying to do is trying to get the youngsters not only involved, but to push some of our senior members, such as like Lacazette, for example, to be scoring more goals. I mean, are there any players, I mean, with the likes of Guendouzi and Ozil not even playing the Carabao Cup match, don't you think it's about time something's going on where it might be a little too late? I think they're going to be shipped out.
Yeah, I think it's going to be difficult. I think I don't know, is Ozil on like 350 grand a week? Like, is that after tax as well? I think Liverpool's midfield 3 of Naby Keita, Thiago and Henderson is probably not even on that. And that's the real issue. I think Liverpool used to pay big wages. Don't get me wrong, we're paying Thiago a hefty fee, but he's one of the world's established elite players now. But Arsenal, like Nketiah, I absolutely love him as a player, a good young player that is not frightened to really put a foot in, and really he knows what it means to play for Arsenal. He gets the shirt and he understands the fans as well. But I think Ozil, you could really do with getting him out the door, but it comes down to wages and who would pay the sheer amount of money that he's on.
I mean, the wages. Actually, I was surprised a few weeks ago. I think Liverpool are the 3rd highest wages payers in the Premier League, believe it or not. The 3rd highest.
How?
Only, I think, Chelsea and City, I think, are ahead of them. Liverpool have a huge wage bill. Huge. I mean, Salah, Mane, Van Dijk, they're on huge money. I mean, Thiago, I think is rumoured to be on something like 200 grand a week. Thiago. So Liverpool never used to pay the wages, and Arsenal were famous for the wage structure with Wenger. They never break it. But sometimes you've got to do it. Sometimes you've got to do it to get a class player in. And, you know, all the other clubs have been doing it for years. So Liverpool's wages are actually quite high, Jack. As far as I know, 3rd or 4th highest in the Premier League. 3-2. Is it over, is it? 3-2?
No, not yet.
4 more minutes.
It is?
No, not yet. After today's scenarios, the game could finish and it could be like 5-3 to Chelsea. You never know.
Crazy. I'll tell you what, there's been a lot of goals in the last few weeks, hasn't there?
Oh, most definitely. Banging in goals left, right, and center. Even down to teams like Leeds United. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic to see, even though it might be an actual detriment to some of our fantasy. Are you guys playing fantasy league by any chance?
Yeah.
Badly. I'm playing it badly.
Yeah, I'm bad as well. I mean, they need a reshuffle or something.
Yeah, no, I mean, even like basically what I did also, I had put in Mane, and then and then Salah got a hat-trick, and then I put in Salah, and then Mane got a hat-trick, and then I put in De Bruyne, and De Bruyne was injured, or I think it was Aguero or somebody, and I was like, oh, okay, I basically need to do a real rebuild job, like the same as we're doing. I also want to shout out to everybody that's watching this live and on reruns. I mean, please go ahead and smash the like, go ahead and subscribe. I mean, to Dave and Jack as well. Angel, I mean, I love having you also with us. I'm not only Gunner here, taking over from... unfortunately, Ray is on holiday, but I hope he's having a lovely holiday. And also, let's wish Tanner happy birthday. Tanner, the bearded gooner.
Happy birthday, lad.
They tied. Tammy Abraham.
Oh, you're having a laugh.
Oh
my
seriously.
God.
3-3, is it?
Yeah.
That 3 on their jersey, they're sponsored by 3. They let in 3 and they scored 3.
They've still got another 2 minutes to get a winner there.
No, let's hope. None of that.
Hopefully not. I tell you, if you're West Brom, Bilic, the manager, he'll be absolutely raging. 3-0.
Absolutely fuming.
And I thought he got a red card.
Oh, man.
So he couldn't be in the match. I thought Bilic got a red card, so he couldn't be in the match at all.
Oh, yeah, he's in the stands, isn't he? Oh, yeah. But even still, I think he'll be on the walkie-talkie.
Possible handball.
Oh.
They're in VAR. Possible handball.
Please. Be off. Yeah.
Handball for who? I'm not even watching it.
No, you know what? This is just adding extra atmosphere and bringing in extra subscribers because we're actually even doing a live watch along while we discuss other matters.
Multitasking.
They gave the goal.
You gave the goal.
Yeah.
Oh well. It's 1 point better than 3 anyway, as long as you don't score.
Yeah,
it's still Chelsea. Hopefully, fingers crossed, they're dropping points.
Yeah, while we focus on our teams, we also like seeing rivals fall behind. I mean, especially with all the pressure that is on Lampard's shoulders. I mean, he's brought basically a complete new squad of, I think, what was it, like 7 players. They still want Declan Rice. I mean, and for them to be dropping points against, I mean, the most unlikely of teams, it's. And what other thing that disheartens me, I'm sure you guys will also be disheartened by this, when an underdog is winning a game and they manage to concede quick goals, and like that, a win for them, it results in a loss. I mean, or a draw. Oh.
Yeah, I think that's something they'll learn as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at Brighton today. I mean, Brighton deserved something out of that game, didn't get it. It's all about finishing, I think. Although they hit the bar 5 times. They hit the bar 5 times. It was unbelievable. If your luck's in, your luck's in. Thierry unreal.
Exactly. Angel, what do you think is more real? What do you think is realistic this season with the players that we have? And if we don't bring in Awar and Partey or one or the other?
The Europa League and also possibly top 4.
Wow. That is, I would love for that to come through, honestly. I wanted to also ask you, do you think the game versus West Ham was a very poor performance? And if so, I would love to know who was your man of the match? And also, players that you just are just trash, straight garbage.
Versus Leicester City in the Carabao Cup?
versus West Ham, the last game we played in the Premier League.
Oh, Kolasinac. He was. I would have sent him out in my car myself to West Ham on a free.
I love that.
Hasn't he been linked
And
with them as well, Annie? I'm sure he was
yeah,
linked. Yeah. I was going to say, it won't be it'd be a very short trip over there down London anyway.
my man of the match was Danny Ceballos. He really improved himself from the first half, even with an assist, and that was a good match for him.
Lovely, lovely stuff. That concludes the first section. And once again, I just want to tell you guys I do appreciate your guys' time, because I do know, I mean, there's a lot of things to be done, family-wise and everything else. But I do really, really appreciate. And shout out to all the subscribers. Like I say, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe to us, and subscribe to Dave and my good friend as well, my other guys in the chat. I want to go on to the 2 games versus the 2 times we're going to be playing, you guys. What do we think? What do we think? Monday Night Football?
It's going to be a mad week, I think. As I said at the top of the show, everyone in the chat's going to be sick of me and Dave. Sick of Liverpool playing anyway, but it's always good encounters. I think Liverpool, Arsenal, both teams play football the right way. Nice attacking brand of football. And I think Arsenal have played very well defensively. Last couple of times anyway that they have. I've been very surprised in the last couple of occasions. The way in which Arsenal have defended. And I think that's just credit to Mikel Arteta in the tactics in which he's implemented such a short space of time, really. And I think it's really more or less caught Jurgen Klopp off regard, really. But I think we would have learned a lot more from obviously the last previous occasions we played against you. But it'd be a nice attacking brand of football. And it'd be interesting to see how Arteta, obviously we mentioned, I'll ask how you think will set up against us. But I'm very intrigued. It's always a good tactical battle. So, get in, Chelsea. But yeah, I'm excited, mate.
I'll just give you a quick word. I'll give you a quick word on the Arsenal-Liverpool game, obviously, on Monday night. We haven't been beaten at home in the league since April 2017. And Crystal Palace beat us that day. And we have a great home record. I know home records don't last forever, but I mean, I would think we have an unbelievable record against Arsenal, actually. Huge, great record. One of the best, actually, records in the Premier League. I think it's Arsenal at Anfield. So I'm looking forward to it. It's always, as Jack said, it's always a good game. Both teams play football. I think it'll be a lot to do with what midfield Liverpool pick. I think if Thiago plays for Liverpool and maybe Gini and Nketiah, and he plays Fabinho at centre-half, because I don't think the other two centre, Matip is out, and I think Gomez has only had 1 or 2 training sessions. He probably played Fabinho and Van Dijk, Thiago in front, with Gini and Nketiah and the front three, the usual front three. I think we'll give Arsenal a hard time. We really will. What happened?
No, I'm hoping not to get spanked because Angel. Yeah, sorry, you were saying.
No, I think we will handle Liverpool fine. Rob Holding. I remember the last time we faced Liverpool, Rob Holding was able to hold out Mane like the whole match. He had him in his back pocket.
Turn into Prem Maldini in his AC Milan days.
A holding midfielder.
No, absolutely love that. We'll come actually into the lineups. What you guys think? It's going to be 2 totally different lineups for both matches, I'm sure. I'm sure with the EFL game that's going to be played on, I think it's on Thursday. Slightly younger, probably younger squads out. Like the likes of Nketiah for ourselves, Nketiah, Reece Nelson, El Neni. But we're going to discuss that right now also. Mm-hmm. So firstly, the Premier League game. What are your guys' lineups? Like Dave said, he's Gary, what is going to be yours?
Hey, Dave.
Do you want mine? Yeah, sorry, do you want mine? Yeah, I'll give it a complete epic lineup. Are you ready? In goal, Alisson in Wonderland, the Brazilian legend. Back 4, Robbo, the King of Scotland. Trent. In the middle, VVD, the King. And I think you played a fabulous Fabinho beside him, because we don't have other fit centre half. In the middle, Thiago Alcantara getting his home debut with Genie out of the bottle and Nabilad Keita. That's the three. And up front, three amigos. Mane in the mirror, Mo Salah, King of Egypt, and Bobby No Look.
Probably no look for me, no.
Bobby hasn't been scoring though, so it'll be a tough match for him.
Yeah.
He likes Arsenal at home at Anfield. He's a good record against
Do you remember that game where he absolutely battered us on his own and we won like 5-2 at Anfield? I was lucky enough to go to that game, and he does love a good game. He just come on the second half, and it's the thing for me. No, he doesn't guarantee goals, which isn't his game. It's the goals come from Salah and Mane. They're the two danger men from the wide areas. But yeah, I'd agree with Dave. Everyone, I definitely see Fabinho play centre back. I think it might be a bit too short notice. I know Joe Gomez, it's not a bad injury, but I don't think they'll risk him, considering how well Fabinho played against Leeds anyway, and that. But yeah, in terms of midfield, Thiago coming in, I'm hoping he does get his debut start anyway. I think he's going to be a fantastic player, and I think all you Arsenal fans were hoping that he'd come to. I was speaking to Stan or a couple of weeks before we got him. I said to Stan in the DMs, I said I wasn't too sure if we'd get him, but I was happy we got him because it was like, are we getting him? Are we not? Are we getting him or not? But yeah, and the forward three lads, I'd go with Naby, Gini, and Thiago. Hendo, slight knock with injury, but if he's fully fit, start with him and then obviously replace Wijnaldum. But the forward three, Bobby with Salah and Mane, and obviously Robbo and Trent left backs, and Ali in goal.
Do you guys think Jota will get a shot to come into the squad in this game?
He'll be on the bench, and he'll obviously push the front three, and that's the reason Klopp signed him. He's actually our most expensive forward we've ever spent on a forward. Well, Klopp's ever spent on a forward, I think, in history. I think he's nearly 45 million. But I actually like Jota. I mean, he'll suit Klopp's style. He's only 23. He's fat. He's very pacey. He's intelligent. He's a good finisher. But with better players around him than what he had at Wolves, I think he can get goals. It's whether he can start enough games with the likes of Mane and Salah on either side, Jota in the middle. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I would be surprised if he started Monday night, but it'd be nice to come off the bench. It'd be a nice little weapon to come off the bench.
How's he played against the Arsenal when he's played Wolves? Has he played well, Jota, against Arsenal in the past?
Yeah.
Giving us a lot of trouble. Angel, tell them how much trouble exactly even somebody like Diego is.
His pace and acceleration is so fast that like not that much defenders could keep up to him. Like his technical movement is like Bruno Fernandes. He even plays with him for Portugal, so like he's learning a lot from like the Portuguese squad, and he's a good player. He's a good talent.
Here we go. You've heard it here first. Angel, give us the predicted lineup for Arsenal for our team, please.
Goalkeeper Leno. Well, this game will play in a back three. Left center back will be Tierney. Center back will be David Luiz, and then right center back will be Rob Holding. The right wing back will be Ainsley Maitland-Niles or Bellerin, but in this game I would prefer Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Left wing back I'll play Saka. The two center mids I'll play Danny Ceballos. No, I'll bring back Elneny and also Xhaka. The left winger I'll put Aubameyang. Right wing I'll put Willian because Willian has been good in the Premier League so far, and striker I'll put Lacazette.
Perfecto. Ray put that same exact predicted lineup, although he put Ceballos with Granit Xhaka instead for, I think, the little bit of creativity that we are lacking. Lacking.
I put Xhaka and also Lenny because their partnership so far has been immense.
No, that's fantastic. I'm loving that as well because, You know, when a player is consistent, especially some, I mean, we've all slated El Neni a long time. You know, he plays backwards, sideways football. You know, it's boring and everything, but it secures your midfield. Your defensive duties also have to be performed. I mean, especially with the front three and middle three that you guys have at Liverpool. I mean, it's a bit ridiculous right now. And we're going to need that little bit of extra solidity to secure the back line, because I feel sometimes you can get at somebody like Rob Holding, for example, or even at Gabriel, our new centre back, because he is still to be, how would you say?
Tested.
He's still to be put in the squad properly, fit into our puzzle, complete puzzle. And I mean, no queries about Leno, and I just hope that there's some sort of plan, some sort of masterclass from Arteta going forward. Who would be most likely? Okay, let me ask you guys. Actually, let me ask you guys this. What is your predicted score lines, since we've discussed predicted lineups?
I'm going to go 2-0 Liverpool. Mo Salah and Mane in the mirror.
I remember when we done the post predictions last season, and I think I said like something 3-1, you beat us 2-1. And I was speaking today after, I was like, oh, that was a good prediction for me. I said 4-1. I'd say 3-1 Liverpool. It'd be an open game. I think if Liverpool, I was speaking to Dave last night, and I think all the Arsenal fans can agree, Liverpool have had the opportunities the last couple of games when we played Arsenal, but we haven't finished them all. I think if it's a game where Liverpool finish all of our shots, I think we'll comfortably run away with it anyway. But it'd be a very good, exciting game of footy.
Oh, most definitely. You know, this rivalry between our two clubs, it's been intense ever since the get-go. And hopefully we're going to see a lot of goals and just an altogether an exciting match. Angel, your prediction, my brother?
2-1 Arsenal win.
Woo-hoo! I
That's
love
very
that.
exciting.
I was thinking exactly the same thing. I was going to say something like 3-1 to Liverpool, but you've completely changed my mind. If you look at it very realistically, we could just nick it. We could just nick it. And I mean,
God loves a trier. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. We just want to see an exciting match. We want to see a performance. You know, we want to see everybody sweating blood and like literally not being able to get up off the ground when that final whistle goes. And I think for us, it'll be a statement of intent to say, listen, now that we've done this, what we could possibly do with bringing other players in as well, and backing Arteta basically, because you have to back the process. Stan the Man is going with 2-1. Ray, our host, hope he's enjoying himself, says 2-2, a draw.
Ray is sitting on the fence.
Angel, I would be happy with us getting a point against the champions, though. I would be. But with
Do you remember the 4-4 draw?
Yeah, exactly.
Was that the Shavin night? I remember that like it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when it was about 7 or 8 or whatnot, going round to me mates, and Arsenal just signed this Russian fella, and it was one of his first games, and I was like, we were all screaming, like, close him down. Like every time he picked the ball up outside the box, he'd just shooting it, go in. You're like, come on. You must have had about like four touches the whole game, and they were just all in the back, the shots in the back of the net.
You know, sometimes somebody comes into your club to be, you know, you don't expect anything from them, and just as you know it, they become a cult hero in some sort of way. In some matches, can be like, for example, like a Merseyside game or a game versus United, Manure United, as we call them, shall be known from a long time ago. Even
We have plenty of names for them.
All of them not PG or family friendly.
Only after hours.
So I got two questions. I want to know from you guys. Do you see Man City putting up a fight for the title with you guys? And do you see Arsenal as realistically fighting for a top 4 spot? Ray has asked.
Yeah, good.
I think obviously City be fighting for the top spot. There's no doubt about it. Look at their squad. Look at they'll be there or thereabouts. City. There's no doubt about it. They were a bit off it last year. They missed Laporte badly last year. Defensively, they were terrible. But I think City will be up there again. And will Arsenal get a top 4? I'll tell you what, Arsenal and Everton, in my mind now, are sort of in the same boat. I think they're hovering around 5th and 6th and just trying to get over the wall into top 4. I think they have a chance. I mean, if they bring in 1 or 2 now this side of the window, put in a good show Monday night, even if they lost the game, but put in a good show, a 2-1 or a 1-0, and brought in 1 or 2 players, as I just said, it just lifts the whole club. And what Arteta's doing there is commendable. It really is. He's done a good job. I mean, after Christmas, everybody was saying, same old Arsenal, they lose games. David Luiz, Sideshow Bob, making mistakes, another Simpsons episode. And they were just making so many mistakes. But they've just calmed it down, got the defence sorted. They've Gabriel, the new centre-half, Jay Leno in goal, the talk show host. He's actually making a few good saves. So, I mean, they're doing well. And I think Arsenal going forward are doing the right thing. And I think they're an outside chance for top 4.
Yeah, Man City, if they get Koulibaly this season in this window, it'll be a much tighter Premier League campaign. If they don't, and they don't strengthen in the back, and Laporte gets injured, and a couple more their back line gets injured, then I think, it's going to be Liverpool's all easy. I think with a counter again, City have got to do something drastically off the back of last season. Their management and Pep won't be happy considering how big of a gap, not just between City, but the rest of the Premier League, Liverpool. Don't get me wrong, we've played fantastic the last 2 seasons, but that's the standard now that the Liverpool and Manchester City are playing. So the questions are going to be asked to the teams outside the top 2. Can you even get close, even to at least 10 points? And Chelsea have already dropped points today. And so that's in this league. This is why the Premier League, we all love the Premier League. It's the best league in the world, and you can't slip up in any game. And this is why Monday's big for both sets of clubs as well, because it can really, as you mentioned, Maahir, at the top of the show, it can be set as a precedent really for the league anyway. But yeah, I think if City don't get Koulibaly, I think Liverpool will win the league again. If they do, then it'll be a very tight occasion anyway. But for Arsenal, definitely, mate, similar to Manchester City, it depends on player recruitment. It's probably like 1 or 2 weeks still left in the window. But yeah, definitely if you can get Hassan and Lacazette can get a kick up at the backside and get a lot more goals anyway to this squad. But it comes down to injuries as well. Yeah, he's at the wheel. He's doing a better job than Ollie, I tell you that. But yeah, no, he's doing a fantastic job. But yeah, mate, it comes down to transfers. I think Arsenal, it's to be a big week for Liverpool. Have done their dealings, but I think it'll be a big week for Arsenal and the likes of Everton and the Chelseas and the Uniteds. See what he's all do in the window. And I tell you, the back end of last season, anyone could have got top 4. It was a season before as well. It was wide open.
We're all playing absolutely terrible, terrible football.
Even Leicester, they bottled it.
Manure United, I don't know how they managed to squiggle there or snake their way in there, but they did what they had to do. You know what, guys? Man, it's been such a fantastic show. I loved that you guys joined in. I'll shout out to our subscribers, shout out to the host, shout out to Stan, shout out to Norma, absolutely everybody. You do not know how much this means. The show started off a little bit shaky. I mean, I won't lie to you guys. Man was a bit nervous at the wheel. But, I mean, you guys did say, at least I'm doing better than Ole. I mean, which I mean.
You couldn't do any worse.
I'm out of words, literally.
No, you didn't smash him, mate. Absolutely
Thank
class.
you guys so much.
Yeah.
Love having you on.
And Angel as well. It was
Yeah.
lovely meeting you.
And
But
Angel as well,
Thank
new
you.
to the channel. Did a fantastic job. And what more can I say, guys? I mean, it's about to be a fantastic. Hopefully, it's a son of a match tomorrow. And would love to have you guys all back again very, very soon.
Okay.
And for now,
Okay.
Stay safe, guys. Stay
cheers,
safe.
everyone. Thank you, lads.
Bye.
Cheers.
Love you
See
guys.
Angle. See you,
Bye.
Maahir. Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.
Yeah, that's
Good luck, but no good luck for Monday.
Come on, you gunners. You know what?
Is it still going?
Yeah, no, I think
Okay.
Ray's expecting the show to be an hour, guys. So this is maybe
Oh,
the
yeah,
outbreak
good.
of the show.
Yeah, no, it sounds. We can still go for another 15 minutes. Some sounds.
I have a
Yeah,
question.
Yeah, sounds.
I think let's give it to guys to ask more questions if they want to ask any questions.
Yeah,
Guys,
good.
we're open. You guys
I have
can
a
ask the
question.
big partners in the house. You guys can ask Angel a question, myself a question as well.
No, I have
Any
a
sort of
question.
question related to anything.
Yeah, good, Angel.
So like Liverpool, they already won the Champions League and the Premier League. What would you want to win this year?
Both.
If you can only win one.
I'd like the Premier League again because we'd match United's 20 leagues, and the Premier League's the bread and butter. You know, the Champions League's lovely. I mean, the Champions League is most continental teams think the Champions League is actually bigger than their league. I'm sure PSG would say it. I'm sure even probably Bayern Munich could say it because they win so many league titles to get used to them, and they want the Premier elite level Champions League. But for me, Premier League, I want to go again. I want to be able to celebrate it properly because we weren't able to celebrate the bloody thing after 30 years of hurt and because of this COVID craziness that's going on, you know?
Yeah, and I tell you, if Liverpool did get, fingers crossed, touch woods, and we play well this season, I think you can forget about Ollie. Fergie would come out with retirement. I tell you that now. He will come out of somewhere. He'll come out with the VAR room anyway, outside Old Trafford, and be like, hey, I'm managing Manchester United. But yeah, he would not be happy if Liverpool did get their 20th. But yeah, I think Dave's like it's such Premier League and the league, especially in England, it's probably one of the hardest leagues to win. But Liverpool have done their business in the Champions League. But I think for the fans at Liverpool, like the Premier League, it probably means so much more to us. Don't get me wrong, we do love a good Champions League run throughout the years, but I think the Premier League could be absolutely massive, especially winning back-to-backs. That hasn't been done since like the early 2000s, is it?
Yeah.
Man City did it.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine 2 in 2 years. I mean, from having such a long absence. I mean, wow.
I think you're on mute, Dave.
Amazing.
Sorry, I was on mute there. I think it was 2009, was it? The last time? I'm almost certain. Guys, I have to go in a minute. I'm sorry, but
no problem. No problem.
Jurgen Klopp's on the other line, so he wants me to have a chat. So lovely talking to you, Maahir. You're doing a great job. Don't worry, Ray. Your job is in trouble. Angel, Angle, fair play, bro. Jackie boy,
Thank you so much, my brother.
Stay safe, my friends. This means
thank you.
I know a free.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, but like I say, any questions you guys do have for any of the panel, please feel free to go and ask it. I'm sure by now also, maybe some of our subscribers have also left because we thought we're cutting it nice and short and sweet, but are still with us for maybe an extra 5-10 minutes.
Still got whenever you want to finish show that. I want to ask you, everyone at home as well, on the panel. So I've been really impressed with El Neni. I know you were mentioning like he does keep it quite simple, but I think that's something some teams in the Premier League do. They overcomplicate stuff in midfield, and the basics really do get missed. But I think he's put an absolute shift in. Where was he on? Was he on loan in Turkey last season? Was he?
Yeah.
El Neni?
Besiktas.
Yeah. So I think that would have given him a bit of confidence. getting 13 minutes in the engine room anyway. So him and Granit Xhaka, I don't think, especially from an outside point of view, I don't think he'd had such a good impact since Arteta's come in. I think so. In terms of El Neni, like Amir and everyone at home, what's been your thoughts on his recent resurgence?
Angel, I'll let you tell him. I'll let you say everything that needs to be said about Maahir, El Neni, Mohammed.
Yeah, I think he's starting to regain his confidence back. Like what I seen before, he was the only player that scored against Barcelona in the Champions League. I think that momentum's starting to come back to him, and I think another player that Liverpool should also try to do the same thing too is Ryan Brewster and not sell him.
Yeah,
like because I heard links that he was going to be sold, but like I think you should keep him. He's like a good quality player.
Yeah, Brewster. It's very interesting. He's got a lot of suitors. I think when we played Lincoln at the week, he wasn't involved, and it'd be interesting to see if he does go, because he's not going to get ahead of Bobby. I don't think many players will get ahead of a Bobby. He's not a Bobby style player. I think me and Dave were mentioned last night. He's more of a Bobby Fowler, Michael Owen getting behind, and really last man, typical Jamie Vardy style. But he's got a bright future, definitely, Angel, and it'd be interesting to see where he goes in the Premier League, because I think he's got a bright future. But if we do sell him, as you mentioned, it would be with a buyback. Potential, buyback. I think a potential 2-year buyback anyway. See where that happens.
It makes a lot of sense to insert in a lot of quality players a buyback clause. So if they do go on to other bigger things like Serge Gnabry, for example, I mean, who knew that he had that in him to go to a Bayern Munich, a giant in the world, and absolutely terrorize? I mean, what was that? I forgot there was a name combined, Serge Gnabry and Leroy Sané, Lenabry or something along those lines. I mean, really, honestly, any team in the world would be lucky to have that duo.
It just proves Arsene Wenger was right. Like, I think he probably seen, was it Arsene that got him into the football club, or was he an academy prospect?
It was Arsene.
Arsene, yeah, he brought him in. Yeah, so he proved he's proved a bit of the doubters wrong, Gnabry, and a classic quote from Tony Pulis saying when he was in charge at West Brom, he'll never make it as a professional footballer. A couple of years' time later, he wins the Champions League, Tony. So it just says, and really any player can turn it around.
I mean, even on the likes of El Neni, Angel, don't you? Yes, I think he's a good squad player, but you do know what you are getting from him. You do know that you're getting cut, paste, and copy a midfielder that's going to do a job for you. So, say for example, you are ahead. You know, he can maintain just control, even if he's doing the backward sideways thing. As long as we're ahead when he's doing it. Other than that, I mean, I feel sometimes he could be a weak link up against some of these stronger players, some of the bigger players. The Agueros and the Silvas and the Fernandinhos and the Mane, Salahs, Firminos, now Thiago. I mean, the funny thing is, even Outer City Corp says that Jack think Liverpool will win the league. I think he just said...
Yeah, I said that before. I rewind it. You'll see me answer what I said. Yeah,
maybe answer our questions. I mean, look, the question was answered. I mean, we do love all the questions coming in constantly.
Yeah.
So attend to you guys. You guys are most important to a lot of our channel survivals, basically. Pulis Gnabry sums him right up. Yes, the assembled. That's perfect. I mean, he wasn't deemed good enough for West Brom. And
it's mad how some players are like that, right? Certain clubs, certain times, certain moments in their career. Because I think you could probably wheel off another 10 names that have probably not hit the heights, but certain clubs, Steve, settled a lot more. Aaron's phone, you like there, but in terms of, I think, can you think of any other players that have left Arsenal? Obviously, the didn't actually use in the Van Persie's book. Can you think of any other players that Arsenal in the past have sold, and you would have thought you would have liked to have seen a bit more from them at the football club?
I'd love to pull that question through to our panel because, to our subscribers, the people that are joining us live and not live, because you can just bring through and answer our questions for us as well. Because right now, Jack, I can't actually think of anybody that just strikes to mind. Because whenever I think of old players, I basically think of old cult heroes that had potential to become much bigger than they were. Such as Theo Walcott, the Ox, Jack Wilshere. Those types of players.
The classic Wilshere. I remember when I was a kid watching that Arsenal team with Wenger, and Wilshere had the best game from a midfielder, especially considering it was against, at that time, the best team to ever play football around that time. The classic Barcelona midfield three of Iniesta, Busquets, and Xavi, and he absolutely dominated. And yet again, we were speaking about players having attitudes, and Jack Wilshere is one of them players. He probably played a bit too many minutes, considering how young he was. But yeah, it's mad, like certain players when they do leave football clubs, but it's the attitude. And we were saying, I think El Neni, when we were mentioning everyone at home, let us know it's some players like Henderson. He's not the most beautiful player on the eye, but he does a job. And probably similar to El Neni, he does a job, but just because he's not Spanish or Argentinian, he's not really deemed to a more flary-ish player. But I think that's what Arsenal need at this current moment in time. Players that are willing, as we said at the top of the show, putting the bodies on the line, really, and just commanding the shirt. You'd rather have three players in midfield that would run through a brick wall than the likes of the passengers like Ozil, who just stands there and doesn't run, and he's getting lots of money, and it's not guaranteed that you're going to get a 10 out of 10 performance from him.
I can't, Jack, Angel, I'm sure, Angel, you'll agree with Jack and myself when we say, players that put everything on the line. I can't wait till all these, the Guendouzi's and the Ozils, all these disputes are sorted and they're just out of our club, man.
No, I would keep Guendouzi. I think Guendouzi, he still has potential in him. So, just get rid of his attitude and he'll be a good player.
No, just to settle all the disputes. Not necessarily get everybody out. I'm talking like Ozil out, definitely, because it's gonna hamper us progressing any further.
It's a camaraderie between football clubs as well. I think obviously us as fans, we don't really see the behind closed doors, and you never know. As we said, as it's been to you, Maahir, at the top of the show with Dave, Klopp has brought this sensible attitude and no nonsense. Like you come to work at this great football club like Arsenal and Liverpool, and if you don't be taking the mickey behind closed doors, and then I think Arteta's probably had it today with El Neni. Don't get me wrong, he's probably got lots of potential, but when El Neni is needed now, this is the time where he needs to get knuckling down and really, because I don't think Arteta and Arsenal have got that time, really. I think it's a big 3 years in the next 3 years to really cement your place in the Premier League and really try and at least break into Champions League football and go higher.
Yeah, man. It's, the thing about us, even if you do lose to any team, it's the performance, it's the heart that you show. That's all we really honestly want. That's the reason why we even watch football and follow our club so passionately from long ago, from the days of when we had absolute legends in both of our teams.
Yeah, I grew up on my dad just talking about the 70s and 80s. And then obviously, when I was growing up, we had our little nights in Europe with Rafa. And then obviously the near misses with Rodgers, Brendan Rodgers anyway. But now it's mad. I was speaking to a couple of lads before we come on here with my mates, and cycles sometimes can be very short with teams, and it could be 5-10 years of dominance really. And then I remember the AC Milan team back in the 05 to 2007. Like that was, you wouldn't have thought that would have had a more big off drop off a cliff.
Yeah,
Like in terms
yeah.
of any club can be there, and it's up to obviously that's how remarkable Ferguson and Wenger were so good at just building teams season upon season, especially to every 10 years, like recycling
Yeah.
different players and really adapting their football and philosophy. I think that's something that Mourinho has really struggled to do, is adapting his philosophy from year to year and really advancing his style of play.
Yeah, I mean, it all boils down to legacy also. I mean, you want to continue your legacy that way. Like you go to, like you're saying, Mourinho was basically at Chelsea, and then he went to Real Madrid and he was winning titles. And towards the latter parts, I mean, even Arsene Wenger, basically, I mean, we could see about 5 years ago, it was falling downhill very fast. And the only way would be, unfortunately, to let him go on high. I think we had won the FA Cup versus Hull, or so, and I was like, Arsenal, go now, go on a high. Then we can remember you in a good light. Like now, 2-3 years, and everybody's flying planes and flying all these things. Coming out with banners, get Arsenal out of the club, blah blah blah. I mean, you could have avoided all of that, and
Yeah.
maybe, just maybe, somebody like they could have taken over and started the rebuild sooner.
Yeah, because I loved Arsene for what he's gave to the football club, and especially Arsenal as well. I think probably deep down himself, he knew he had to go, but it was when the moment in time. Probably he knew behind closed doors the players weren't going to be getting brought in, and it could have been. I found it remarkable how we got Champions League football every single season, with the likes of obviously Aboué, Rosicky, and all
I
those.
mean,
Theo Walcott and everything. Don't get me wrong, they were decent players, but you weren't obviously the likes of Bergkamps, Girondis, and Overmars and all that. Like, but
I was just gonna say to you guys now. Yeah, the panel has a question from the assembled. Do we believe if Wenger was in charge, would Ozil still be at Arsenal? I'd definitely say no.
That's an interesting one. I think at the back end, everyone at home, let us know. I don't know too much, like behind closed doors at Arsenal, but Wenger seemed to really give players the opportunity. I know we give Bentner and the likes of obviously Bakary Sagna and all them like give big opportunities, but I think that's the changing tide now. I don't think he would have been at Arsenal if Wenger, but I think he would have if he was in charge. It's a difficult one. It's a fantastic question. Absolutely amazing question.
Angel, what do you think? Do you think Ozil still would have been around if Wenger, if the professor was still at our club?
Yeah, he was still be in the club, even as like a squad player, like to play in like the Carabao Cup, all the other leagues like the Europa League or Champions League. I think he'll be useful there. And like adding on, I think like Wenger used to adding on to the idea, like Wenger used to give people opportunities, even like if there were failures. But like I see this when we faced Tottenham. I remember he put Mesut Ozil on, and that was a really good match. Like he actually improved himself. So like giving people opportunities is like a good thing to do.
Yeah,
We may have made the wrong decision in keeping the wrong player, because personally, I know Alexis was very toxic. Angel, I'm sure you'll agree. He was very toxic towards the later part because he wanted to move, but I mean, you destroy your legacy that way. Jack. The funny thing is, how much I love Aubameyang that he had to he signed a new contract and thought about his legacy first.
Yeah, that's what I love about it. He's thought about it. I think I was made up he signed for Arsenal because, especially players of that quality, you want them to be in the Premier League. And I think it would have been a big loss to the Premier League as a whole to see him go. And I think he is one of Arsenal's main men. He's the captain now, isn't he? Is he? He's your main captain. Yeah, so he's the big spearhead, and that just shows everything about him. Well, Arteta sat him down, and probably Aubameyang, I think he had offers from Real and Barca, if you want to believe every rumour anyway. But that just shows the pull and the management of Mikel Arteta, that he's he's had the player of Aubameyang, and he sat down and he's persuaded him to stay. And you mentioned Sanchez there. He said it was a couple of weeks ago. He said he regrets moving to Manchester United, and I think that's a whole different couple of shows anyway. If you're talking about agents, but I think his agent destroyed his legacy at Arsenal because he just thought about his money. Because I think Sanchez at Arsenal, he hasn't hit those heights since he's left at all.
That's the funny thing. I can think of legends that are welcome. Even somebody like even somebody like Gerrard, he's so welcome back at Anfield and so loved. With us, like Sanchez can't go. He can't go back to. He can't go to United. He can't come to us. You're not welcome there at all. We don't want you even 1 foot in the stadium. He can't go to United. He was a flop. What is he going to really do at Inter Milan that's going to go, wow? Nothing. He's basically threw it all away for a chance at glory. That's it. To play GGMU on the piano, that was his best performance.
I think the minutes on it, or a goal, it was worth every 2.5 million a goal anyway on his contract. But yeah, that's how different some players now. I think if all three of us and everyone at home had the ability to be a decent footballer and play in the Premier League anyway, I think it'd be interesting. Don't get me wrong, money is, and obviously money plays a big part in players' careers, but I think all three of us would want to be playing football for the opportunity to win trophies. And if you go into a club to really potential win trophies, I think everyone at home would agree with that. But I don't know, different individuals are got different objectives in life. So, but yeah, I think some players are very greedy.
Look, Angel, Jack, it's just about that time. Thank you so much for this episode and this podcast with me. And shout out to our subscribers. Thank you so much. Thanks everybody for watching. Until the next time, I'd love to have you guys back also again. Whenever you want to, just send me a message or send Ray a message and just let us know. Even if you'd like us to be a part of your shows or your podcast.
I think I try
do a preview.
Yeah, I think I might try and do a preview show tomorrow, boys. But if he's free tomorrow sometime, try and get Ray on. Obviously, he's still an oldie, but I think I'll try and get used to one if he's fancy that coming on my show tomorrow. But it's been an absolute pleasure, everyone at home, and Ray and Amir and Angel. Thank you for having me on. An absolute pleasure. I was doing nothing tonight anyway. Probably would have just played FIFA, so I was definitely would have stayed on until about 11 anyway.
You got Xbox?
Another short time, Angel.
Yeah. I've got Xbox. I get Amir to send you me gamer tag.
All right, thanks.
Fantastic, guys. Thanks so much. Love you all. Another